Okay. What is going on, LBHT crew? I know my video isn't here. Uh, there's a problem with the internet. Or it's this thing. It's EV Mux. But the bandwidth went down for a minute. I didn't want you guys to see my choppy face. It will come back up shortly as soon as it gets fixed. But B, what is going on?
Football is back, right? That's what's going on.
Yes,
And
yes, football is back,
and while we
and
were sleeping, the rest of the world took over basketball.
yeah, well, yeah, and we're gonna be discussing that. We have a lot to discuss today. All right, look, who's here in the chat right now? Bazel is first. What's going on, Bazel? Just Aloe in the house says LBHT. How's everyone? Well, I hope we are well, and we hope you're well as well. Okay. In fact, it is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope your week is going well, but if not, hopefully it gets better starting right now. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. No more Twitter. Okay. Um, what's his name? Elon Musk wants to charge us to bring the hotness to you guys on Twitter. So there'll be no more streaming on Twitter because we will not give them a dime. All right. Ferris in the house. What's going on, Ferris? Thanks for coming through. How does my mic sound? Is it coming in clear for you guys? Is it low? Is it high? Got a brand new mic here. All right. Need to make sure that you guys can hear me well. All right. And as soon as I get the video quality up on my side, you will see it. Okay. Megan, what's going on? Says greetings. Salute to Megan,
What's up,
Seahawks fan,
Megan?
a diehard Seahawks fan in the house, but she supports the show. All right, because this is not be people make the mistake often. They think we're a Ravens channel, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not their fault because YouTube categorizes us as a Ravens channel. Other YouTubers categorize us as a Ravens channel. We talk a lot of Ravens,
Yeah.
but we are in fact a sports channel that talks a lot of Ravens and Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is this: it's not that we talk a lot that we're a Ravens channel. It's the fact that this is a Ravens market, specifically a Lamar Jackson market.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's for everybody. Lamar Jackson, I don't have the numbers here, but I'm pretty sure if I go and do the research, it will support this statement. He is the most talked about subject in sports media.
Yeah. Probably in this country, at least. Yeah.
Yes, in this yes. Let me put that in there. In this country, okay. don't talk to me about Mbappe or anybody. Yes, I understand. Okay, in this country, Lamar Jackson is the most talked about subject. Okay, probably definitely more so than LeBron James these days. Well, Bronny's probably giving a run for his money. Caitlin Clark over the summer, I would say,
Yeah.
uh, over the offseason is probably talked about more. But throughout the course of the year, it's Lamar Jackson. Killer
Mm-hmm.
Cam's in the house says Hola Jose, and also Mucho Gusto Brodny.
What's going on, Cam? Nice to
What's
meet you
going
every
on?
week.
What's going on, Mikey? Our guy OTR Mike from Open Mic with OTR Mike says, "Yo, Mikey, we gotta discuss the things. I gotta find out how your meeting went. All right, we're gonna discuss that, and we're going to get him back in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. I keep teasing it, but it's happening soon. Okay, but if you want to see him sooner, go over to Ring Kings podcast. We're do a video. We didn't do one this weekend, but we've been fairly more recent over there. All right. So if you enjoy boxing or you just enjoy seeing our faces, hop on over to Ring Kings podcast. DDSQ's in the house. Is what's good, y'all? What's good, DDSQ? Thanks for coming through. We got MDT Sports in the house. Says, what's up, guys? What's up with you? Okay. Let's see. Okay. Megan says, I'm good. I'm good. All right.
Mhm.
Barrett says I sound good. Awesome. Awesome. Good. Good to hear. Good to hear. Ravens Talk with Yolanda. What's going on, Yolanda? Thanks for coming through. Make sure you
What's up, Yolanda?
subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. She just put out a video. It wasn't today, maybe yesterday, on breaking down safeties. She's breaking down every position in football. Okay. For those of you that don't quite understand everything, in football, because it's a lot of moving pieces, great channel to follow. Okay, she's breaking down the basics that you need to know about the sport. So go subscribe. Okay, Ravens Talk with Yolanda. And who? Oh, look who's here! It's Dre.
What up, Dre?
What's going on, Dre? Thanks for coming through, Mr. Galloway, a dope artist out there. There's a lot of dope people that come through here. All right, and he makes excellent music. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to check out some of that, go over to Mr. Galloway. Subscribe over there. All right. Also, another dope channel. Our guy Hendo, the Rogue Pod. What's going on? Thanks for coming through. He said he says he only sees 50%. Yeah. The streaming quality on my side is a little low. I'm waiting for it to clear up. I got more people in the household now, so they're taking up my bandwidth. So I will be on screen soon. It just dropped down as we hit live. That's why I feel like it's not really the bandwidth. I feel like it's Evie Mucks playing games on me, but we'll get that fixed. All right. And okay, we're all caught up. You guys came in here quick. When I started reading the comments, it was only like 4 people. I was going to read them real quick and keep on going into the Black History fact. But you guys, man, you jumped in here real quick. All right. Look, we're going to be discussing Lamar Jackson. You guys saw it in the thumbnail. You saw the title. We're going to be discussing that. We're going to be discussing Team USA. Okay. And who the best players are on that team. We're going to be talking WNBA setting more records. They're setting a bunch of records. They set more records. All right. I didn't have anything for Court of Public Opinion, but if you guys can think of something, let me know when we'll talk about it real quick. All right. But Coach will be here. Did you talk to Coach?
I didn't talk to him, but I assumed he would be here. I mean, it's the show's the same time every week.
Yeah, but I don't know. But we gotta make sure he's good to go. Okay, he's a guest. All right. I mean, kind of a guest.
Yeah,
he's
I was
welcome
like,
anytime. Yeah.
It's really though.
All right. So maybe we'll get Coach. Maybe we'll get Ferris.
I know Ferris better be here. He's in the chat.
He's in the chat. I don't know if he's gonna be here though. All right. So either way, we're gonna have a packed show here. Okay. But first, we like to start every show with a Black History fact, and B and Nicole have a Black History fact for you.
Welcome to this week's Black History Fact. Charles Gordon was an influential figure in American theater, known for his pioneering work as a playwright and his commitment to racial harmony. Born on October 12, 1925, in Cleveland, Ohio, he was originally named Charles Edward Fleming, but later took on the last name Gordon. After serving in the Air Force, Gordon pursued his passion for drama, earning a degree in the field, and eventually moving to New York City to chase his acting dreams. While auditioning, he worked as a waiter and landed significant roles, including a memorable performance in The Blacks, with stars like James Earl Jones. His crowning achievement was the play No Place to Be Somebody, which he wrote and debuted off-Broadway in 1969. The play's exploration of race and identity resonated deeply, leading to Gordon receiving the Pulitzer Prize for Drama in 1970, a historic first for an African American. Gordon also dedicated himself to education, teaching at Texas A&M University and advocating for diversity and unity. His influence extended beyond the stage, touching lives through his teachings until his death on November 16, 1995. His legacy endures, highlighting his profound contributions to theater and his dedication to social progress.
All right. I think my video's coming in clear now.
Yeah,
Look what I got. Look, I got a new microphone. B is not happy. He is not happy.
I'm disgusted. I'm more than not happy. We've talked about this since the beginning of the show, that all I wanted since we decided to go on YouTube and do the video thing, which we were never going to do, all I wanted was an old-timey looking microphone, like a microphone that a ring announcer might use in a boxing match, something like that. And I could never find one. And then
You couldn't find it?
And then I get a message, not a good one. And then I get a message from Jose. Oh, hey, I know you're busy at work. I'm sorry to bother you. Hop on this, come in the studio real quick. Come in the studio. He's got nothing to show me.
I was so
All he
polite.
wants to do is stab me in the back with this brand new microphone that he got.
First of all, I don't remember the conversation we had where you said
It was multiple conversations. So, I mean, I don't know.
Second, okay, shout out to my guy Shang, okay, Musa, as he's known out there in the streets. All right, from Guerrilla Films. I've put his link in the description before. I'll put it in this one again as soon as I finish the show. I've directed you guys to go check out his work. He does photography, he makes movies, he does all kinds of stuff. This was his microphone. Okay, he used it for a very specific thing when we had the pandemic and it was there's quarantine. He used it for for specific things, and then it was collecting dust. And because he's a big supporter of our show, he said, "Hey, that this microphone looks like their logo," which it does. Okay, there's Microphone Man right there. He said this would be perfect for the show, so he gave it to me. All right, so thank you, Shang. I appreciate it. Good friend, great supporter of the show. All right, really appreciate that. Now, B, if you want this,
well, he didn't deserve it, but thank you.
if you want to use this microphone, maybe we can work out something, work out a schedule or something. Okay,
a schedule. I'm getting half custody of no, man. All right, I'll just get my own. All right.
Hey, look who's here. Our guy Eric L. Salute. Just greetings, everyone. Have a most excellent show. Thank you so much. Another big supporter of the show. Been supporting from the jump. From the jump. Really appreciate you coming through, Eric. Our guy Jared Green in the house. Salute. Southern Ballers Show. Okay, go check him out. All right, and I know this is probably a couple weeks ago, right? You and your brother had a birthday not that long ago. Happy belated birthday! I meant to wish that to you last week or whenever it was.
Living Legend said Jose got the supreme clientele ghost microphone. I could have been getting these comments. Whatever though. Whatever.
MDT Sports, salute. Thanks for coming through. All right.
Man, go ahead and mute MDT already. I already don't want to hear what he has to say in our NBA segment. Like, I'm already tired of it.
Ferris is here. I was going to ask if you want to go straight to the NBA segment. Okay, Ferris, Coach isn't here.
Coach is coming, but he's not here yet. So if you want to jump right into NBA, we can do that.
Or did you want to talk Lamar first?
Well, I mean, Ferris is no longer there.
Yeah, I was saying,
I've never seen a guest who shows up for the show and then
leaves
like Ferris does. So
we should just bring his chair up. Let's have the Ferris's chair.
I don't really want the Clint Eastwood aesthetic. Let's go ahead and hop into some NFL talk. Maybe start off with the Panthers training camp.
Okay. All right. Okay. As Ferris gets set up, why didn't you do that before you click the link, Ferris?
Because he's Ferris, man.
Okay, so I didn't put Panthers on the docket. I wasn't sure what was going on if you wanted to discuss it, but let's talk. What's going on with Panthers training camp?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on with Panthers training camp is that Bryce Young threw an out route to Deontay Johnson today, and he caught it, and the crowd went wild. All right,
that should tell you something about the dire need for a pass catcher that they had in Carolina. That a practice catch, a routine catch, was completed, and the crowd went wild like they scored a touchdown in a real game.
Let me tell you something about the Carolina Panthers. If you don't know about the Carolina Panthers are one of the worst teams in the league. They do not have very much talent, and it's been that way for a while now. They have not been a competent organization possibly since the Polian days. And so they've gone through several coaches, several GMs, several quarterbacks, and we talk about it a lot. They've never had back-to-back winning seasons. They are very well versed in back-to-back losing seasons, though. It's like I believe 6 straight now. But they brought in Bryce. They picked him number 1 overall a couple years ago, and it's just going to be, it's got to be his team now. We're kind of building around him. There is some optimism because despite having question marks at quarterback, left tackle, wide receiver, cornerback, and edge rusher, and no money to address any of these issues.
First-time head coach.
First-time head coach. Bryce, was a very well thought of prospect coming out, and they went to work on the O-line this offseason. Kwanu was still there. This is going to be his 3rd season, looking to bounce back from a very, very rough year last year. But they went and they got Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis to really solidify their guard spots. Taylor Moton has been, manning the right tackle position for a good while now. They know what to expect there. At center, a little bit of it. Like they're moving Austin Corbett over to center. It's not his natural position, but it is a position he's played a little bit before. But he is coming back from injury, so there's some question marks there. But they've tried to solidify that as much as possible. They went out. They drafted Xavier Legette in the 1st round. They went. And now it's adding to Jonathan Mingo, who they drafted in the 2nd round last year. They went out. They traded for Deontay Johnson. So they're they drafted Jonathan Brooks, the running back out of Texas, in the 2nd round. They're trying to put as much around Bryce Young right now as they can to give him the best chance to succeed. Dave Canales, he resurrected Baker Mayfield's career. He got him that big contract that he got in Tampa Bay this year. So they're kind of hoping for a similar thing with Bryce. And I got to say, I know that this time of year is the time when everybody's very optimistic, everybody's very excited, every move you made is going to work out. But I am excited for this Panthers team, largely because the NFC South is just god awful, and it continues to be. So I think that if they can get things together a little bit, they can make a serious run at winning that division.
Okay, now I have to address this. Right, you guys can't see this at home. But Ferris is backstage. He sends us a private message. Says he's whenever you're ready, guys. Whenever you're ready, and and then he proceeds to stuff his face with some food, and then he's chugging down. What is it? Mountain Dew or what? What is it? He's drinking it.
Liter of cola.
Okay, and then he's doing this little shaking thing like he's mixing a drink. Okay, like you're not ready at all, Ferris. There he is. Look.
No. Just terrible.
Ferris should be on Ferris. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. Yeah, no, but yes, there is a lot of optimism when you're rebuilding a team. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is what it looks like. There's some uncertainty, but that's how you can buy into a season where you're not really expecting to compete for a championship. Maybe a playoffs, maybe not. But you have a lot of young talent, and you just excited to see what they can do and how they develop, right? So I like the moves that they're making.
Notice I didn't really mention the defense. Things are going the other direction on the defense. They traded away Brian Burns for a couple 2nd-round picks. They replaced him, as it were, with Jadeveon Clowney and DJ Wonnum out of Minnesota. They've got absolutely no depth behind them. They have Derek Brown. They did extend Derek Brown coming off his monster season. They added Ashawn Robinson. They've got little to no depth behind them. Shaq Thompson is coming back. They drafted a linebacker in the 3rd round, Trevin Wallace. They've got no depth behind them. They have J.C. Horn coming back. He's been injured every year of his career so far. I think so. He's coming back. They have no depth in the secondary whatsoever. Well, at corner whatsoever. They cut Von Bell, but they did replace him in free agency. They went out and they got another safety. So they're pretty solid at safety. Everywhere else on defense, they have no depth and questionable starters. What they do have is Evero, the defensive coordinator. They convinced him to come back. He did a very, very solid job last season, and he's going to have to arguably do a better job this year. But the offense being a little bit better should kind of take some of that pressure off of him, hopefully. But yeah, in training camp for Carolina, all we're really looking to see is Xavier Legette. You want to see him kind of out there with the ones, making plays. You want to see the O-line gelling as much as you can in training camp. I know it's not a place where you can really tell the O-line, how the O-line's doing. But, you want to see, obviously, Bryce making throws, making accurate throws, hoping that he's still got his confidence after the absolute beating he took last season. But I think it's off to a good start. And obviously we want to see a big step forward from Jonathan Mingo from what they saw last season. I think he's got the talent. I think you're going to see a much improved Jonathan Mingo this season with a more competent offense. But we got to wait and see.
Okay. All right. Shout out to Zeke Okage for coming through. Appreciate you. All right. I put Mikey's comment up there earlier. I didn't want to read it while you were talking, but he said Bryce's backpack was bigger than he was.
That's all right. And and you spelled Bryce wrong, so whatever. Okay.
You did. It's with the Y. Don C, what's going on? Says Jose and Brodny. LBHT family. I like, shared, and been subscribed. Appreciate that. Listening on Bluetooth while driving. That, yes, consuming our content the safe way. Appreciate that. All right. I was gonna bring up shout out to Tanja. she listens to us a little recklessly, but that's okay. She still supports. All right. But yeah. Okay. So look, we got Ferris here, we got Coach here. Do we want to bring them up and discuss this Lamar Jackson thing and then get into the power rankings?
Well, I think we're going to go straight into the power rankings because once again, we do not have scenes set up for 4 people. Okay, we have to go over this every week. We can go into the dynamic scene and bring everybody up, but we have scenes for 3 people. All
right, Ferris, sit tight. Finish your food, Ferris. And
Ferris is not ready to go anyway. Ferris is over there playing college football 25. I know he is. I can see him looking off to the side. He's playing video games and eating food.
He's playing. Wait, Call of Duty? Is it Call of Duty? Oh, I don't know.
Are you working, Ferris? Okay. Good.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. He's giving us hand signals. I don't know. Yeah, all right. Let's bring Coach up.
I know that hand signal is not universal, Ferris. Go ahead and welcome Coach Evans to the show.
Coach.
What's up now? How y'all doing?
What is going on?
I'm still trying to figure out Ferris's hand signals back here. Like, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
All right, Coach. All right. So there's actually 2 things that I want to discuss with you. The power rankings, okay? Mm-hmm. And then you did a video on this topic about the comments that John Harbaugh made about Lamar Jackson and Stephen A's reaction to it. So this is perfect timing because I want to get into this. And, since you did a video, this will segue right into it. But let's start with the rankings. Before you do your rankings, can you let everybody know how your power rankings work?
Okay. So I take each position group. I got 9 position groups, and I rank them 1 through 32. Once I do that, I add them all together. Then I divide by 9 and get an average. And then whoever has the lowest average, that's how the numbers fall. And the human part of it is me ranking each position. The numerical part is that I have nothing to do with that. That's just simple math. But the human part is me ranking each position and studying the people in the position groups and ranking that. So that's the human part of it. But the end result is just simple math.
Okay. Now, we're getting close to number 1. You did number 2 today.
Did number 1 too.
You did number 1? Oh, you did 1. You did 1.
Because I thought y'all was starting at 7:30, so I did 2 and 1 back to back.
Oh, okay. I saw 2. I did not see 1, but I probably get it by process of elimination. But okay, where did we finish at? 6 last week?
7.
7. So
it would be 6, but we have a tie for 5. So it would be 6, but we got a tie for 5.
Yes.
Starting with number 5 was the Vikings. The Vikings and the Ravens were tied for number 5. And we'll start with the Vikings first. The Vikings, in my opinion, have the best tight end room. I got them ranked number 1. They got 3 guys in that room that I think can go. Even the third guy who is he was with Packers for a long time. I can't think his name. They got Hawkinson. They got Hawkinson. They got somebody else, and the third guy that I really liked because I played with him a bunch of times on Madden too. That's how I remember who he was. But they got 3. They got 3 really good. Oh, they got Hawkinson, Oliver that played with the Raiders. I mean, not the Ravens, but the Ravens. And what's this cat that played with Green Bay? Oh shoot, I can't think his name. But anyway, they got 3 good tight ends, and I like all 3 of them being in that room. And so I felt like, as far as for depth and quality, they had the best tight end room to me. Now, there's some other guys like better tight ends individually, but as a whole, I think that's the best tight end room in the NFL.
Okay. I'm looking at Nick Muse and Johnny Munt
for the Vikings.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm seeing for them. Well, actually, maybe this. Oh no, I'm sorry. This is for last year. Let me hold this up right here. And at tight end, they've got TJ Hawkins. Oh, Tunyon.
Robert Tunyon.
Robert Tunyon. Yeah.
That's the third one. Yep. So I feel like 1 through 3, that tight end room is pretty good. Thank you, Ferris, for being late after practice. Appreciate it. And then the other number 5 was us, Baltimore. I had us as the number 2 quarterback room, the number 4 running back room, the number 1 safety room, and number 7 at D-line and edge, and number 9 tight end. What went into the tight end room with being so low is our usage. So I factored that in too, because we don't use them like other teams do. Like other teams put both of their good guys out there. We actually got to put one or the other out there. So I factored that in too. So if both of them had great numbers instead of one going off when the other one ain't out there, I probably would have moved them up. But I factored all that in too. So we're at 5. We're tied with the Vikings at 5. And I think I got a comment today about somebody saying I should have, like, the Vikings should not have been close to us because Lamar should have counted more for their quarterback room. But the Vikings quarterback room was 31st. Our quarterback room was 2nd. The rest of the team counts too.
Yes. Yeah.
So I gave them the next to the last worst quarterback room, but still, the rest of the team matters also. And because we got next to the last O-line. Like, we got 31st O-line. Because we got 3 unknowns. So that's the way it worked.
3.5, really, if you look at Ronnie.
But he's a known unknown. Rest of my unknowns.
Hey, and we got donation.
Appreciate
Shout
you,
out to Noah. Because Ola, Jose, and Brodny. Hey, appreciate you, Noah. I should mention that at the beginning of the show. If you're looking for that animation, okay, that's how we do our super chat. Okay, there's 2 ways you can do that. One, right next to Coach. Okay, that's our QR code for our Cash App. $LBHTShow. Also, the pin link that you see in the chat box. There you go. Yes, the pin link that you see in the chat box will take you to our Streamlabs page. All right, both ways. You can leave your donation, leave a comment, and Microphone Man will give you the Park Heights strut. That's what he's doing in that video right there. Park Heights strut.
And I didn't see that, so somebody else needs to donate so I can see the Park Heights strut.
There you go.
Drop a 5 so I can see that. But it came out to be those 2 teams. You know, that's the way the numbers work. Because I don't look at the average until I'm done completely. So I ain't looking at the average peeking to see if I can put the Ravens above the Vikings. I don't even do the average until everybody's done.
This is what I love about your rankings. Like, it's unbiased, right? You're ranking all the positions first, and then you're just calculating the math, and the math shows you, it kicks out what the rankings are. Mm-hmm. So you're taking the emotion out of it, because as fans, we can easily say Ravens are number 1.
Yep.
Right? We can easily say that. But and some people, I don't even understand how people are mad. We're top 5.
Right.
Anybody in the top 10 has a shot at winning the Super Bowl.
It's the perception. They don't want to be perceived as being on the same level as the Minnesota Vikings.
Right.
I had them,
and all this is just on paper.
It's on paper.
This is on paper. This ain't nobody played the game yet. This is just on paper.
I know B had them ranked lower.
The Ravens.
Right. I mean, based off our record prediction, right? Because borderline playoff team. Because that O line, you can't be out here nowadays with the bad O line. Like, so that O line
Yeah, it's the biggest question mark for Baltimore and Carolina, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And if the O lines go the way that the teams want them to go, the season's going to go well. If they
Be
if
wizard.
they if they go the other way, the season's going to go the other way.
Okay, I see the strut.
Ferris. Yes,
see the
that's the
strut.
strut. Thank you, Ferris, for donating 10. Appreciate that.
I see the
Yes.
strut.
Thank you, Danity. Yes, $ LBHTShow. That's the Cash App. Appreciate you.
So we had a tie for number 3 as well.
Yes, so number 4 is just tied for third.
Yeah,
Yes, I saw
number
that.
3 as well, between the Chiefs and the Dolphins. We'll start with the Dolphins. The Dolphins had, in my opinion, the number 1 running back room and the number 1 receiving core. Everything else for the Dolphins were in the teens for the most part, except for the tight end room. Tight end room was 27. And so they kind of even themselves out with those 2 number 1s and the 27. Everything else was between 10 and 15 for them. Tua's, I got that room pretty much just Tua because he pretty much played all the meaningful snaps at 15. But their running back room with the 2 guys they got, and they added another running back. Their wide receiver room with the 2 guys they got, and they added Odell, and they drafted Malik. That's them the two best rooms I think out there. Now, the rest of the team is average. What I did do with their edge group, they're one of the few edge groups I factored in for the most part 4 starters. Because we know their 2 starters are hurt.
Yeah.
Chubb and Phillips. So, and I think a dude retired on him, didn't it? He retired on them after I recorded the episode.
I think one of them did. I can't remember.
Dude that played it from Tampa. He retired on them after I recorded the episode. So they're looking at starting with 2 rookies, but they just signed somebody else a couple days ago. But all that happened after I recorded the episode. So I factored them in for that too. The other number 3 team is the Chiefs. Chiefs has number 1 quarterback room, number 3 tight end room, number 4 cornerback room, and the number 9 O line. And they were just kind of solid all the way through. They didn't only, like I said, big room they had was quarterback and cornerback. And they always solid all the way through. Nothing stuns out but quarterback. And if I had put like more emphasis on quarterback like everybody wanted to, they probably been far and away the best because of how good their quarterback are. But it's a full team and not just QB. Number 2 was I think number 30 last year, and that was the Lions.
Mm-hmm.
They had, to me, the best O-line, the number 2 running back room, the number 3 wide receiver room, and the rest of their stuff was in, and the number 5 D-line edge group also. And so that put them at 10, a little over 10. And then number 1 was the 49ers. The 49ers was the only group to post a complete average in the single digits. Their average was 6.8, basically. They had the number 4 wide receiver room, number 2 tight end group, number 6 O-line, number 2 linebackers, number 2 cornerback, and number 9 safety room. And so they were the number 1 group from from most of the Tally Power rankings.
Yep. Now, let me ask you, what does their wide receiver and O-line group look at after they trade Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk?
Totally different.
Yeah.
Totally different.
That's all I like to hear.
Totally different.
You think they're going to trade Trent Williams? I don't know.
Oh, they're going to trade Trent. I think
Ayuk, yes.
Ayuk,
yeah.
Even if Ayuk plays it out this year, him or Debo won't be there next year.
Yeah.
That's what Ricky Pearsall was for. Him or Debo won't be there next year.
And again, Trent Williams, every time I see Trent Williams, like that's what I think about when we talk about Ronnie Stanley's situation, because Trent Williams was Ronnie Stanley in Washington, right? Hurt, missed a lot of games. They mishandled his injuries and misdiagnosed him with a couple of things. And on his way out, fans were like, well, he's never available. He can go. His best days are behind him. And as soon as he left, bam, best tackle in the league.
What? Like I said in the video, he aged like fine wine.
Yeah, that's why I want to do our due diligence with Ryan Stanley. Make sure he has a chance to come back 100% healthy. Don't just rush him out there while he's hurt and he reactivates an injury. Let him get all the way healthy and see what he has then, because I'd be crushed if he went somewhere else and started playing like Trent Williams.
Mm-hmm.
We can't give away good talent on the O-line. But okay, so Lamar Jackson, John Harbaugh had, I didn't think anything of it when he made the comment, because that's, he's doing his cheerleading thing. That's actually one of the more admirable things I like about John Harbaugh, is how much he capes for his team, right? I think a lot of it is, he's just talking, but showing public support for your players is something that I think there's a lot of coaches that don't get that, right? Especially at quarterback, like you got to gas them up.
Yep.
You got to show like, hey, no, you're the greatest of all time. You're gonna be the greatest of all time. We fully believe that, and you got to you got to instill that confidence in them. So 100% on board with that. He took a shot at the media, saying that, hey, they're making all these comments. You got to scratch your head on those comments. What do you think of making those comments? And Stephen A, got a little hit dog syndrome. Okay, you know what they say, hit dogs holler. Stephen A was like, ow, something hit me. Right? he took it personal, and Stephen A wasn't wrong all the way on what he said. He lied about a few things, but his overall point was, hey man, I ain't talking. I wasn't talking about Lamar. We're talking about you. You have Lamar Jackson. You have enough talent. You have to win more than 3 playoff games, and he's absolutely right about that. The other things that he's talking about, BS, because he's trying to say, oh, we didn't say anything about Lamar. We weren't criticizing Lamar. All you do is criticize Lamar, right? I don't know what he's talking about. Nobody's been talking about Lamar. Everybody talks about Lamar. This is a Lamar Jackson media market. Okay. Like you have to talk Lamar if you want clicks, if you want ratings. So of course you're talking about Lamar, and you get more views and clicks if you criticize him.
Yep.
So of course you were criticizing him, and that's what Harbaugh is talking about. So he wasn't wrong on that part, but Stephen A is absolutely right. Harbaugh, he hasn't been getting it done, and this is what we've been saying for years now. He's not doing enough. But you did a video on that, so yeah, we want to get your take.
I think a lot of stuff he said was spot on, because I was listening to it, and I was half listening to it because it was just on the TV, and when he when the comments went from like, because he was talking about like not criticizing Lamar, which we know is BS, and some of the criticism of Lamar has changed. The criticism was he's basically he's not a quarterback, and it's shifted to how good of a quarterback is he. That's in so many words. And it went from he can't do nothing to how well can he do it, or he needs to do better, or whatever. But when he got to John, he was spot on to me. Like since 2012, you've had enough talent to win more than 3 playoff games.
Agreed.
Way more. And so that's why I did the video on it, because that's the part that nobody wants to face. Yes, John's a good coach. I mean, he won a Super Bowl, and some people take more shots than probably necessary at John, and I kind of stick up for coaching a little bit, being in the profession for as long as I was. But I mean, we in a profession where if you ain't getting it done at the highest level, you got to go. And I've been a victim of it myself. I mean, on a much lower level, but 3 playoff wins in over 12 years, and look at the talent you had. You've been the number 1 seed a couple times. I mean, I know we didn't do much with Joe after Joe got his money. They kind of gave Joe, people from the grocery store as skill players. Then Lamar got there, he had them same people from the grocery store as skill players, and still went 14-2.
Right.
So you could have at least had just more than 3 playoff wins. Not to say you had Super Bowl, caliber players, but you've been consistent enough to have more than 3 playoff wins since 2012. And like he said, you got to win 3 to get Super Bowl now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, like just to put that into perspective a little bit as well. I just talked about how Carolina has had 6 straight losing seasons, and they've won as many playoff games since 2012 as Baltimore has. Right, and that's with 6 straight seasons of losing records. So yeah, Baltimore has not gotten it done, and that is on Harbaugh. That is on DaCosta. They have not put enough talent on the offense. Like their focus just isn't there. Cam is saying it in the chat where like, yeah, it's cool to say that you love Lamar and you think he's great. You think he could be the greatest, but you need to show it in your actions. And your actions say you don't think he can play quarterback.
Yep.
That's what your actions are saying. Because you're not going out and getting any proven talent on that offense around him in terms of the receivers and building the O-line. They've thrown draft picks at it, and that's great. But draft picks are the cheapest way to try and acquire talent, and they failed mostly with that. You know, they did the same thing in Carolina. They drafted Kelvin Benjamin in the first round. They drafted Devin Funchess in the first round. You know, and those guys didn't pan out.
Work. Yeah.
Yeah, and it wasn't until Cam was on his way out that they went and they got DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
You know, so yeah, I mean they're kind of going down that same path, and you know, I think Zay's going to be great. Rashad Bateman has not been it. You know, there's still time for him to turn things around, obviously.
Absolutely.
You know, the book's not written on his career, but he has not been that guy up until this point. And then Nelson Aguilar?
He's solid.
Yeah, he's an all right player, right? He's an okay depth receiver. Tylan Wallace? Nothing. You know, you know, you drafted another receiver in the 4th round, and Tez Watkins. Walker. And there's just no effort there. It seems like.
Yeah, they put they asking too much of 8 to save us. And we know he's a dynamic player, but the better players you give a superstar, the more superstar you see out of him. How much better was LeBron when he played with D Wade and Chris Bosh? Like we ain't seen that version of LeBron back in Cleveland. We ain't seen that version of LeBron back in LA.
Yeah.
That version of LeBron in Miami was different. Now he's a better shooter now, but just overall, that version of LeBron in Miami was freaking awesome. But he ain't played with teammates like that since, in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. And you know, and go back to Stephen A. I hate talking about this guy, man. I cannot stand Stephen A. And he's so slimy. But yes, he was right about Harbaugh. But this whole thing of, oh no, we weren't talking about him, we're talking about you. You've never talked about Harbaugh, right? Like that's how I know he took it personal, because Stephen A. when he takes it personal, he wants to get serious. He's not screaming A anymore, right? He wants to talk in a serious voice. Now he starts getting stats and facts, you know, things that he doesn't usually put together. You know, he heard Harbaugh's comments and he took it personal. Shannon Sharp took it personal. I saw a clip from Shannon and Ocho from Nightcap, and Shannon Sharp, you know, he's one of the top Lamar haters. Okay, that goes back from when he felt like Lamar slighted him when he was trying to be to Lamar, and Lamar said, I don't need your guidance, right? So he's always criticizing Lamar. I saw Pat McAfee talking about it. Everybody's talking about that clip because, yeah, it's you guys in the media who are talking about Lamar. I mean, Stephen A. last year was just talking about he wasn't worth his contract that he just signed. Him and Shannon, remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I didn't care about all that. My thing was what he said about John. His criticizing of Lamar. He said, yeah, we talked about Lamar in the past, but he downplayed that. But I don't like. We know they're gonna talk about Lamar. We know what it is. I'm just happy somebody talked about John other than us. So all that shit he talked about Lamar, that was mute to me. I'm just happy somebody else talked about John, so we can get the focus where it need to be, so he can get his monkey ass up out of there.
I agree with that, and that's why I'm not mad that he said it. I hate that, you know, I had to listen to Stephen A. But I'm glad he said it. But
you dislike the messenger, but it's the correct message.
Yes,
and it's necessary because he's got
he got more juice than anybody for people at least to start poking holes and say, oh, maybe he owns something.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if we say it's just, you know, it's water on the bridge, you know, whatever.
Well, we just haters at the end of the bar.
Exactly. Yeah. At the end of the bar, right? I wish I was at the end of the bar right now.
Your friend Sarah and Manga Bobby, you know, think we're toxic, but you know, whatever. Crazy. So training camp, some quick training camp notes. I saw today from Justice Rabick that the defense has been looking pretty good. Now, granted,
they always before offense. Every training camp I've been to, even in high school, the first week defense be murky. Like I'd be so frustrated the first week. You can't get a playoff, can't get a pass off. That's why all this stuff about Owe in the backfield, man, it's the first 2-3 days.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I wouldn't be so quick to dismiss that. You remember the last time we had all that talk about Oweh. It was because Villanueva was trying to block him.
Right.
And then you saw what happened when the season rolled around. Nobody was saying, "Oh, maybe our O-line sucks, and that's why Oweh is doing things we haven't seen him do in games."
He had a great camp that year, boy.
Yeah,
he had a Devin Funchess camp.
They thought he was gonna be a star.
he just wasn't going against Villanueva in practice.
Yeah. They said Daniel Falele is getting snaps at left guard. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I don't know. What I mean, is that where you prefer he plays at guard?
I've been saying he'll go. I feel like his feet were too bad to be a tackle. And you have to, when he plays tackle, you have to allocate too much help for him because you got to have somebody to help chip. That takes a person out your. If it don't take a person out the route, it slows them down from getting in the route. So I feel like him playing tackle hurts the team unless he's gotten better feet. Now I don't know if he's gotten better feet because I haven't seen them, but his feet were terrible in the film that we was able to watch last year. He was almost turnstile-ish. Unless now running the ball is different because he's so big, but pass pro his feet just wasn't good enough.
Yeah. They've also said Harbaugh and Monken have both said that Bateman has looked great and they expect a big year from him. And again, this is one of those things where I don't know, man. Like when do you hear a coach say, "Man, that player looked terrible"?
Never.
On Hard Knocks.
But yes.
Subliminally talking about Daniel Jones.
But they're really hyping him up, so maybe he is really impressing.
They really hyped up James Prochet as well. They're gonna hype who's there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just what it is. They're not gonna be out there like, "Man, boy, you're not gonna believe it, but we blew it at receiver again this year."
Tez Walker. Marlon Humphrey came to camp a little bit lighter. Okay, he's trimmed down. Said he's been injured a lot last couple of years, and he think might have to do with the weight, so he's dropping the weight. What do you think? You think that the leaner Marlo will be healthier?
I don't know, man. My discourse for Marlon is so high that I kind of don't even see his football right now.
Right.
That's I just like he can go out and get 25 interceptions, and I'd be like, yay. Don't like it, man. I'd be happy that he get them and we win as a team, but I just don't like that dude.
I hear you. All right, Coach. Let the people know where they can find you.
Well, you can find me at Sip the Tally Films on YouTube and more Sip the Tally films on YouTube. Also, the Power Rankings just ended, but if you want to go back and check it out, that's where they are. I also finished my top 50 players last week, and I see NFL is doing theirs right now. I don't know if any Ravens have been on there yet. Probably have. But I think Pat Queen was on there, but I don't know if we consider that a Raven or a Steeler because he's a Steeler now, but when he made it, he was a Raven. Right. But that's the only one I've seen so far, but I've been busy earlier. That's what you can find me on Twitter at come get some 9. Let me talk Coach Evans 9, Instagram. All that too.
There you go. All right, and look, 2 milestones that we got to hit for Coach, man. You're very close to 1,000 on more Sip to Tally, and you're very close to 10,000 on Sip to Tally. All right, and he is the architect of the Ravens Roundup. Okay, that's the shirt I'm wearing right now.
Be back Monday.
We'll be back Monday. We're back Monday. All right. Like, hey, throw out the RR signal. Okay.
Right. You're gonna throw it back
Ravens up. Roundup returns. throw that triple R up. Okay. We'll return on Monday. I can't wait. I'm excited, man. So, Coach, appreciate you.
No problem.
We'll see you soon.
Cool. Appreciate y'all, man. Let's see what Ferris got to say. I'm ready.
All right. Thank you, Coach. We're gonna go right into the NBA and WNBA with Ferris. Coach, we will see you on Monday.
All right. Peace, y'all.
Ferris, what's going on?
Ferris is muted.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Ferris. You gotta mute yourself. You gotta mute. Oh, there you go.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep, we hear you.
Okay. Now. How you doing, Ferris?
I'm doing good.
So, real quick, before we start, Okay. First of all, where's the sound?
Oh, sorry. My apologies. Sorry.
Wow.
This is what happens when you stuff your face before the show. Okay, he was, he got a full stomach. He was kicking back. He forgot he was doing the show. What's going on, man?
I mistimed the Black History fact.
No, that's all good, man. That's all good. It's all
it was shorter than normal. I tripped you up.
Yeah.
40 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. We also have milestones. Okay, we're close to 2,000 now. I'll say this, okay, because I've been getting on you guys about getting us over the hump. It may not be your fault. I think YouTube is playing games again. Okay, I am a YouTube conspiracy theorist. Okay, I believe YouTube hides certain people's subscriber counts from them. I don't know if it's for motivation or hating or what. Okay, but I fully believe that our subscriber count is higher, and I know because I've seen somebody subscribe right in front of me, and that count didn't go up. Okay, so you guys may be subscribing, and they're just not updating it. All right, but keep subscribing because we're trying to get to 2,000, and then very quickly turn around to 3,000. Okay, this year is going to be a big year for us. You too, Collins. All right, Ferris. I could not wait to see you to discuss this, man. Okay, first, okay, I'm gonna give a little anecdote. I told you this earlier. I don't like anecdotes. You guys know what anecdotes are?
Yep.
When you're arguing with somebody and you want to use your personal experience to prove a point, even though it's not surrounding in facts. But I'm gonna use an anecdote right now, okay? Because I've been arguing that WNBA has been growing. There are numbers obviously to support that. It's been growing, and it's going to continue to grow. Ferris, we talked about it last week, the $2.2 billion TV deal it got and everything. But anecdote time. My son is in a basketball camp. Okay, Phil Chenier. He's a former. I think they were Bulls at the time. He played for the Bullets. His son is running the camp. It's a Chenier Wingfield basketball camp. Excellent camp. Okay, so if you're in the Baltimore, Howard County area, definitely highly recommend it. Okay, all ages, well, from kids to high school. Okay, so yeah, Chenier Wingfield, Dion Wingfield, also a former basketball player. He played overseas. Head coach of Wild Lake High School for many years. Coached with our friend Coach Jay. All right, they run an excellent program over there. Okay, this is my son's second year going to the camp. Okay, kids love it. If you're a high school age, great for your development. Great for your development, right? Usually when I go, I drop off Jacob and I pick him up. I'll hang out for a little bit and just kind of just watch the camp, right? Watch how it's all set up and everything. So I was doing that today, and I noticed something different this year. There are a lot more girls signed up for the camp. I mean, a whole lot more. Okay. I mean, and they were out there balling. Like they're running the drills hard. They're trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? And that is a direct result of the growth of the WNBA. I fully believe that. Okay. It wasn't because USA men's basketball team. I don't think that was the reason. Okay. I think because Caitlin Clark had a big impact on them. Angel Reese had a big impact on them. Right. And just the more exposure to the sport, this year, it has inspired them. And I think it's going to continue to grow that way. And we're talking about this because you see the ticker right there, WNBA record at All-Star ratings. Okay. What was it? 2 million? I think it was 2 million. No, 3 million.
3.4. I thought it was
3.4. It was 2 million more than
2 million
yes.
than last year. Or
1.4 was last year.
It actually, the highest it got up to was 4 million towards the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So extremely high ratings. That was a great All-Star game. Aguwale, I can't pronounce her last name. How you pronounce her last name? Arika Agumwale went.
I see that woman
off.
in my nightmares.
She, man, like you could not take your eyes off of her, and it all came in like 7 minutes of play. She had nothing in the first half, and then in second half of the third quarter, she just caught fire, and she couldn't miss anything. It was insane, and she set the record for most points scored in an All-Star game.
Yep.
Yeah. One of 3 records set in the All-Star game. Caitlin Clark set the rookie record for assists in an All-Star game, and then Angel Reese was the first rookie to have a double-double in the All-Star game.
Caitlin was 2 assists shorts of having the overall record. I believe it's 11. So she needed 12.
No, actually, no. It was the record is 12.
The record is 12.
For Sue Bird, yeah.
Okay,
so you needed 13. 3 more, but yeah, very close.
Yeah, very close.
Yeah. Very entertaining game, competitive game. I loved it.
You're always gonna get a good game during the Olympic year because they always do U.S. versus the WNBA, and this is the second year in a row, in Olympic years that the WNBA has beaten the U.S. Women's Olympic team, and it just proves to you the amount of the breadth of talent that this league has. That the WNBA squad, I think most of the roster on the WNBA squad were Americans. So I think most of the international players have already left to join their international squads. Like I believe Alana Smith, the power forward from Minnesota, who's Australian, she's definitely an all-star in my opinion. But I don't think but she was already with the Australian team in France. So I think most of the WNBA were American women. So you'll drop the American women of that team in the Olympics, and they probably win gold. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yeah, and this goes along with a 500% increase in merchandise sales jersey sales led by Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Asia Wilson, who's the best player in the league by far, was 5th in jersey sales. And the talk from the league now, they say they want to expand to 16 teams by 2028.
And 44 games, the max allotment under the CBA.
So how many teams is it now?
12.
It's 12. It's going to be 13 next year, and then there's another one adding after that.
14.
And there's going to be 14 the following year.
Yeah. Now again, obviously Caitlin Clark played a huge role in the success this year, right? And she might have helped she definitely helped push it along even further. But these are things that were planned before Caitlin Clark came onto the scene, right? They're already talking about expanding. They're already talking about a new TV contract. Did she help increase the amount of the TV deal? Probably.
She's gasoline on the fire.
Yeah, for sure.
The fire was already there. Everyone was seeing it. They just dumped some gasoline on it. Right. You know what I mean? And the problem is people don't want to admit that fact. They think she's done this all by herself, but she hasn't. And that's fine. That's okay. When people think we're haters when we say that. It's like, nah, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
Like we're not, you're just blinded by either blind loyalty to a person who doesn't know you exist, or you're racist because you're diminishing what black women have done to this point for the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
AD Weezy, he said Charlotte Sting coming back. Put your bid in.
Hey, man, they could bring back them, or they can bring back the Detroit Shock.
It should be the Comet, right?
Absolutely. It should be Houston.
Yes.
Houston should be the first team to be brought back. But it would be kind of awkward to bring back some of their legends, though.
You ain't got to do that. Just bring the team back. It's one of the most dominant.
Keep their history.
History. So,
first four championships.
Yeah.
First 4 champions in WNBA history.
There you go. Yeah. So
I strive to get Danity's approval. I'm not going to lie to you, man. That's all I really care about. I'm done for the night. I'm good. I'm good right there. And don't really need anything else.
So, also, I'm not sure if you saw this, Ferris. There is a 3-on-3 league, women's league starting up.
Unrivaled. It's
Unrivaled.
Being produced by UConn great. Shout out to my girl Stewie with the other UConn great Nafisa Collier. So they've started unveiling players that are going to be in the league. I believe Brianna unveiled Jewel Lloyd, Seattle's shooting guard. Makes sense, because they're close. They won multiple championships in Seattle, so of course I believe Jewel because Jewel really doesn't play She plays in Europe on occasion, but you know, so there's that. Yeah. So yeah, they're coming. They're coming. It was actually announced 2 years ago, and then it kind of went silent, and then they started now releasing more information with it.
They recently announced that Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese will be playing as well. So
dope.
Yeah.
Speaking of 3-on-3, we do have our women's 3-on-3 team in the Olympics as well. So I want to shout out to them. Hope they bring. We're defending gold champions in that as well. So we got the women's 3-on-3 and the women's 5-on-5. We're both gold medals in both categories of basketball. You know what I mean? So let's bring the gold back for both.
Yeah, and like Dandy said, offering more money than the WNBA currently. That's true. They're guaranteeing 6-figure salaries for all the players. Now that's currently. When the new CBA agreement kicks in, I feel like all the salaries will shoot up.
Yeah, yes, they should. But since you did bring up Olympic basketball and the U.S.'s dominance, let's
is there 3v3 in the Olympics?
Yep.
Go ahead and talk about are LeBron and Anthony Davis the best players on Team USA first?
Now, before you answer that, Ferris, the reason why I brought this question up is because I've heard Austin Rivers mention this. I think it was Colin Cowherd talk about this. What are you laughing at?
So you said I heard Austin Rivers say this. Like that's funny, man. Continue.
What's funny about it? Was he not a longtime NBA player?
Yeah, but he's Austin Rivers. So was Gilbert Arenas.
So his opinion is not valid?
Yeah, okay, fine. What is it though?
I'm just saying, but I'm not even saying I agree. I'm just saying I've heard multiple people discuss this in the media. Okay, LeBron and AD, are they the best players on Team USA?
No.
Who's
Kevin
the
Durant
best?
still exists.
Who's Kevin Durant better than?
AD.
Is he?
He's currently right now playing better.
Oh, he's hurt?
No, I'm saying, is he playing better than AD?
I think none of them are playing good, to be quite honest. They're still trying to figure out what the hierarchy, it happened in the southern South Sudan match, right? Where South Sudan goes up 14 on them like that, right? And you start realizing who the man of the team is. It's LeBron James. He's the best player on this team, bar none, right? And they gave him the ball and he took them back, and he brought them up to the, controversy towards the end of the game. The ref may have swallowed the whistle. That should have been called a foul, but, it is what it is. But South Sudan had a great game. And yeah, my bad. I think, AD's probably better because I don't think Kevin Durant's playing. But yeah, they're still trying to figure out what they are. Like what do we do? You know what I mean? Like, who gets the ball here? Who gets the ball there? Personally, Steve Kerr, the reason the U.S. men's basketball team fails is because of bad coaching and not knowing how to operate this team. That's why Coach K was so successful for many years. He knew where to put people. He knew what roles to give what people, and they accepted the roles and they stopped. They didn't talk. You know what I mean? When it was time to give Kobe the ball in the 2008 Olympics, they got out of the way. When Dwayne Wade went on his heater, it became Dwayne's team for that solid 5 to 10 minute stretch where it was him, it was his team. And then I remember in 2012 when Carmelo went nuclear against Nigeria, they kept feeding him the ball. And he dropped 37, 12 for 14. I believe he was 8 for 9 from 3, and they beat Nigeria by the largest margin of victory in Olympic basketball history. I think they beat them by 80. You know what I mean? That's the problem with this team. No one's playing good. So no one knows. So no one's on a heater, right? So when someone's on a heater, they don't. Anthony Edwards didn't play good in the FIBA World Cup, and he's not playing good with the Olympic team, right? So no one's on a heater. But the problem is they have LeBron James, who's hot or cold. Give him the ball, he'll get you 20 points like that. That's what happened with South Sudan. Everyone found out who the big dog is in that game. LeBron took the ball away from everybody and said, "This is my team. Give me the ball. I'm gonna bring us back," and he did.
So if he's the big dog, is he not the best player?
He is. No, I agree with that. But you also said Anthony Davis. It's the Anthony Davis part.
Okay.
Yeah, the Anthony Davis part I think is up for debate. LeBron, he's won. End of discussion. I don't care who you are. It's his team. And he's almost 40. It's not a detriment to the U.S. basketball system. It's just that LeBron James is a goddamn freak. You know what I mean? Like I've been like, it's not a debate no more. I'm sick and tired of this. He's the greatest basketball player to grace God's green earth. I'm done. I'm done arguing with these Michael Jordan sycophants, these Kobe fanboys who just sneak into a conversation like, you were never the GOAT. Get out of here. Like people act like Michael Jordan took a bucket of toothpaste and some trash bags to the NBA Finals. He was the super team. The Bulls were the super team. The second half repeat of the Bulls was literally the Miami Heat with LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. So you're telling me they had Michael, Scotty, Rodman, Steve Kerr. That's not equivalent to the Miami Heatles? Get out of my face. Hey. You act like Michael Jordan was dragging like buckets of garbage to the NBA Finals every year. Get out of here, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, you're talking to two Jordan fans. Okay, people don't realize that we grew up being huge.
You guys were in the moment.
Yes, but we still acknowledge LeBron as the greatest player of all time. Now, when people argue for MJ, I don't really argue because I like MJ too, right? But yes, if you ask me, I say LeBron is the best. But you can talk about rings and winning and all that. Fine, he's got 2 more rings than LeBron. Michael Jordan, and we watched the later Michael Jordan, could not do what LeBron is doing now, pushing 40.
No.
Okay. But all this is just a starter. All this, right? We say LeBron, okay. AD, there's some question there, but AD, he's playing well.
He could be number 2. You can throw him in there. I forgot KD's not really playing. He kind of hurt, but like I expected Steph to be the second best player on the team. I expected,
I'm fine with either or.
I expected Steph to be more involved, but I think,
So, but the point is this: they both play on the same team. They play for the Lakers. So why can't Rob Pelinka get some support for these guys so they can win another title?
Personally, I think Steve Kerr is the problem. I think his rotations have been bad.
No.
I mean, I think because you need to involve more people.
You missed the question.
Oh, okay. You missed the question. Okay. Sorry.
I said I'll
Rob
repeat
Pelinka, the Lakers.
LeBron and AD play on the same team for the Lakers, right? And they're just underperforming. And why isn't Rob Pelinka, the GM, getting the role players necessary for them to be out there and really competing for another title?
I don't know, man. I know. The problem is, here's the problem: that their organization is being run. They're not their father, Jim or Jeannie. They're okay with little cash and they're fine with being, because the Lakers still the biggest brand in the NBA. They sell out merch. Steve Kerr. Yeah, Steve Kerr is the problem. Like, Steve Kerr is the problem. Chris, I 100% agree with you. It's not working. Joel Embiid shouldn't be on this team. Like, at all. He doesn't.
Who should be there in place of him?
A more mobile, direct to the, like Dwight Howard worked. You know what I mean? Anthony Davis, when he was a rookie, worked. Joel Embiid, as the way he plays, doesn't work with this team. You need pick and rolls, a crasher, getting the Tyson Chandler in 2012.
He can't do pick and roll?
He's always hurt. He's slow. He's got something wrong with his foot every time. Like, I need more athleticism out of my big in the Olympics, man.
Be nice, living legend.
I mean, like, no, because
I think you, living legend. You be you.
No, because Tyson and Dwight worked with the way this team operates. Joel, it doesn't work, man. It just does. I haven't been seeing it. And here's the thing: his game, he can't foul bait in FIBA. You can't foul bait. The FIBA people just look at you like,
yeah,
okay. And there's no, you can touch the ball around the cylinder. So a jumpier center, Dwight Tyson, can grab offensive rebounds and slam it in, because you can touch the ball, and when the ball's still in the cylinder in FIBA, you can still hit it. Like, it's not goaltending. Yeah. That's not goaltending. So the rules are not the same. Some people just their games don't fit FIBA. Joel's one of them. And to the Lakers, they're okay with money, even though they barely make the playoffs every year. You know what I mean? Because the money's the key for them. Doc was like, I want to win championships and make money. I'm not going to sacrifice that.
I'm sorry, Ferris. Here's a fun game. Mike says Embiid coming off injury as well, though. Tell me when that's not true.
He's always hurt. You know?
Yeah, he is.
He's always hurt. It doesn't work with his team. You know what I mean? And also too, like you're not playing the Dallas Mavericks or the Charlotte Hornets on a random Tuesday. You're playing for people who are playing for their country. Who will, there's this tweet that says nothing's more dangerous than a C+ NBA basketball player playing for his nation. That's true. They'll drop 30 on you, 40. I remember Rondae Hollis Jefferson was playing for Jordan. I'm like, wait, I didn't know he was Jordanian, which I don't think he is, but but he is now. He dropped 35 on Greece.
Dropping massive accusation of fraud on the show.
No, he probably played in the Jordanian league, and then he got a citizenship, and so he's a Jordanian. Good for him. You know what I mean? So he dropped 35 on Greece. I'm like, Rondae Hollis Jefferson, you mean the guy who couldn't shoot in the NBA? Yeah, that guy. You know what I mean? So, they lost to Germany with Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder was the best player in that tournament. Dennis Schroeder, the guy we made fun of for leaving, $80 million on the table. It's like, you're fine, but you're good, but you're not great. When he plays for Germany, he's probably the best player on the court. It's crazy. You know what I mean? And with the Lakers, man, connecting to that, to their 2-star players on the U.S. men's basketball team. Mm-hmm. Like I said, man, they don't care about winning championships no more. They get a championship, cool. The revenue is what they want now, really. That's why they're fine with making the playoffs at 6 or 5th seed, because they get an extra revenue, more playoff games, more tickets, more merchandise sales, and they're fine with that. It's kind of how the Yankees have become. The Yankees and the Lakers are kind of synonymous, where the Yankees are good enough to make the playoffs. They're fine to make the playoffs, but they don't win championships because their owner, who is the second generation of the owner of the team that was obsessed with winning, Doc and George, they cared about winning, and that was the only thing they cared about. You know what I mean? They're crazy, but their offsprings are like, we make millions of dollars, we barely make the playoffs, we're good enough to give people some semblance of hope every year. We rake in the cash. We get a championship once or twice. That's fine, but money's the key. That's what it was. She's not doing it. People act like she's doing better than her brother. No, she's not.
The things I'm hearing this offseason have been completely unacceptable. Why they didn't get Klay Thompson? Oh, we tried, but it takes 2 to tango, or he didn't want to come here. That's a completely unacceptable excuse if you're the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers are known for getting their man every time. If it's floated out there, hey, they're interested in this person, then that person is going to LA. Okay, that's how it's supposed to work. This is how they've made their reputation. They get the guys that they want to keep building dynasties, right? Keep building championship caliber teams. We try to get a guy that's way past his prime to come here and take on a smaller role, but he just wanted to go somewhere else that's more of a contender. Not acceptable. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, B, that's your team. Rob Pelinka looks like he's there to stay, and but look, it's good to know that LeBron and AD still pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, no, it's been a colossal waste of talent in LA over the last 5-6 years. They got the one title, but if you have LeBron and Anthony Davis over that stretch, you should be much more competitive than they have been. But I agree with Ferris. I think that they just don't really care enough to try to put a championship. I mean, they paid Austin Reeves and Gabe Vincent, and then they brought in Cam Reddish. They didn't bring in anybody this offseason. Like, they clearly don't care.
Yeah.
Klay Thompson turned into Brick Thompson lately, but I think he comes in more of just a shooter role, right? He's not the main focus of the team. I think he can help them tremendously, or he could. He went to Dallas. He'll help Dallas out. But okay, so another thing B brought up, right? LeBron is still that guy, pushing 40, but he's not going to be playing for that much longer, right? Once he's gone, what are the American stars looking like? What's the star power for the American-born players in the NBA?
There's 3.
Right? Because I don't see any.
No, yeah, okay. Technically, really, yeah, there is any, but the 3 that people talk about, the 3 are the two dudes in Boston, Jalen and Jason, and Anthony Edwards. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Anthony Edwards has some potential. I don't think Jalen and Jason Tatum. I don't think
their personalities doesn't lend to.
Yeah, obviously they're good, right?
Yeah.
But that's superstar level.
No.
Nah, I don't see it. Definitely not from Tatum. Tatum has all the tools, but he
I told Jose, Tatum to me is the way I see Anthony Joshua in boxing, where they went and they're like, hey, we're gonna put together a perfect player or a perfect boxer in a lab, and they forgot to give him a heart.
Mm-hmm. And a tad bit of charisma.
Yeah, like but that part isn't even as important as on the court. When you're talking about being a superstar, being a face of the league and stuff like that. But Jason Tatum, no shows in big time games. On I don't want to say a regular basis, regular basis, but far more often than should be happening for a guy his caliber.
Yeah. No. Tatum, so Chris, we're not talking about U.S. Not U.S. basketball. He's talking about during this stretch. Yeah, I feel like
Chris has been hate typing for like 20 minutes straight, bro. It's amazing and ridiculous.
I enjoy the interaction, my guy. But he's right though. Jrue Holiday shouldn't be starting on this team. Should be like Anthony Edwards or Jason Tatum, to be quite honest with you. You're actually right. And Joel Embiid should just be off the team altogether. But I digress. But yeah, man, Jason Tatum in the NBA, let's specify, in the NBA. Boy, dude had a 5 for 20 game in an NBA Finals, and the Celtics still won by 30.
Yeah,
because his running mate showed up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Everybody else
showed up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Derek White.
Do it, Chris. Start up a pod. We'll be the first one subscribed, bro.
Absolutely.
Facts. No, yeah, yes. for sure. Now, I agree. Mikey says, J.A. keep his nose clean. He'll be the face of the league.
Disagree. Hard disagree. He has to learn.
He said J.A.
He said J.A. I was like,
well, to be fair, Mike typed J.A.
Yeah,
it's not all caps. I just don't.
Ja.
He's got to learn how to shoot. But I mean, he's got everything else, right? He's an absolute freak and spectacle athletically.
Oh,
I hate how high he jumps. I hate it, especially against LA. But if he gets a jumper, then yes. But I think, I don't think so. Even if he does get a jumper, the face of the league is Victor Wembanyama. That's who it's going to be moving forward. Period.
Yeah. So no Americans.
No,
really.
but we're talking. I'm talking about just American-born stars because we talked about how
Cooper Flag. It's Cooper Flag. That's the guy.
Black.
Yeah, a fun fact about Cooper Flag: his future teammate is the starting center for South Sudan, Kamari Mulic. So shout to Kamarin. Shout out to him.
So nobody, no American-born player is gonna be that next superstar.
Because here's the thing with David Stern fell into some of the greatest transitions of generations I've ever seen in my entire life. He fell into Bird and Magic because he wasn't the commissioner yet. 84 was his first year technically. Then he was official in 85. So he had Bird and Magic in the 80s, and he's like, "Oh my God, what's gonna happen after they're gone?" Oh yeah, some guy named Michael Jordan shows up in the 90s. And then then there was a little spell in the early 2000s where they had the Lakers dominate, but it was kind of getting a little rough and rugged, and then he implemented the dress code, right? But then in 2003, something happened. Some guy from Akron showed up, and then since 2003 till now, the NBA's had the face of the league, and Adam Silver is screwed because no one has LeBron's, story, off the court stuff. Every single American star either doesn't show up in basketball games, has something bad off the court happen to them in a societal sense, or they're Jaylen Brown, who they don't really like because he's
a little too intelligent.
He's too smart for his own good. Right. Just, you know what I mean? So like there's that, because like with LeBron, you heard nothing. You didn't hear him talk about having his baby mamas say get an abortion, or he didn't get arrested showing a gun at an NBA official, or laser dots, or beat up a kid in a pickup game. You know what I mean? Like LeBron was just like, he was like perfect. The worst thing LeBron James has ever done was the decision.
Yeah.
And yes, he chose to go to another team when he was a free agent.
Exactly.
He means the show.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Like, I do think that in terms of guys who are similar to that, right? The guy is Anthony Edwards. It's just a question of whether or not he's going to play at that level for that long and be better than some of those other guys. Because right now, the top players in the league are all foreign born.
Yeah,
right.
Living legend.
Luka is pretty young. What?
I know what you're talking about, living legend, but I'm talking about in the '90s. It became Jordan's NBA because he did show up in '85 or '84, but it wasn't his NBA yet.
Yeah,
sure. It wasn't his. Yeah, and then in '90,
play the eras mode in NBA 2K, living legend. Anyway,
continue.
So Anthony Edwards has that charisma, right? And he has the ability on the court. He's a very flashy player. He's great to watch. But obviously he went to the playoffs this year and kind of flamed out towards the end. I think he hit a wall and all that. But he's 22 years old. And if he can kind of build on that, he has a shot. But I just don't see anybody really surpassing Victor Wembanyama once he gets into. I just don't see it.
It's a freak. And then like there's another French kid coming, dog. That's the same, you know what I mean? That's the same height as him. There's a 16-year-old kid from Barcelona. You know
Chris,
what I mean?
What was Jordan doing in the 80s, Chris?
We're talking about the 80s, like not the 90s. The 90s, yes. The 80s, no.
He won a dunk contest.
He was finishing the season under 500 and getting bounced in the first round of the 80s, bro.
Thank you, living legend. My bad. Sorry, brother. My bad. Sorry. Do you think? Sorry.
That's all.
I like living legend. He seems like a cool person. Did we meet him in person?
No.
Oh, okay.
The next meet and greet, you got to come out, living legend. We're planning one for 2025. It's not going to be one this year. We had it in August last year. It was
a scoring title.
Nice. Chris, that doesn't make it his league, bro.
Next year,
Kevin Durant's won a scoring title.
August 2025, we are going to be doing another Roundup meet and greet. Okay, where you can meet the members of the Ravens Roundup, which is ourselves, Coach Evans from Sip to Tally Films, who was just here earlier. Okay, Chris Just Joking from the Deep Cover Podcast. Our guy OTR Mike from Open Mic with OTR Mike. All right, and Hendo from the Road Pod. Okay, we do a show every Monday on Coach's channel, the Ravens Roundup. The meet and greet was a lot of fun, so we're going to start setting that up, and we're going to start selling those tickets early. So make sure you're a part of that when we announce it. Okay. What else we got? We got some questions.
Oh my God. Do you think is it Luka Doncic's league right now?
He's joking. He's messing with you.
But it's fun though.
Yeah, they do, Cam. What are you talking about?
Cam, we read your comments every week. He said
that's what an era is, Chris.
Yeah, we always read your comments. All right.
That's what an era Yo, he's messing with us. Right? Like he said, like, I'm sorry.
All right.
Like Chris is funny.
Submitted questions time. Let's do submitted questions.
Absolutely, Chris.
Luka led the league in scoring with the cupcakes, Chris.
Yeah, and he would score more points if he wasn't fat.
No, he wouldn't. All
right. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here.
Fatness unlocks something we don't know.
Submitted questions time. Let's go.
There's actually another NBA story.
Go ahead, Ferris. Go ahead and tell.
Hold on. I was just laughing at Ferris, and I forgot to even put him on screen.
Go ahead.
There was a
your
delay.
NBA story,
There was
Ferris.
a delay, man.
You couldn't help yourself. Tell the story. Tell the story.
The NBA is rejecting Time Warner's match offer of the Amazon NBA package.
Well, no, they're not rejecting the match offer. They're saying they didn't match it.
But Time Warner is saying we did, and we're going to take appropriate action. Here's their statement.
Yeah.
We have matched the Amazon offer as we have contractual right to do, and do not believe the NBA can reject it. In doing so, they are rejecting the many fans who continue to show their unwavering support for our best in-class coverage delivered through the fully combined reach of WBD video first distribution platforms include TNT, home to our 4-decade partnership with the league, and Max, our leading streaming service. We think they have grossly misinterpreted our contractual rights with respect to the 2025-26 season and beyond. We will take appropriate action. We look forward to another great season of NBA on TNT and Max, including our iconic Inside the NBA. This isn't the second time this has happened, though. The NFL was leaving ABC, and ABC matched like the offer, but the NFL still left. And the their ABC Sports president, that guy at the time, sued the NFL for like a buttload of money, and he was like, "I'm gonna get something out of it. We may lose the NFL, but we're gonna get some money." And that's what happened that way. I think that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna sell out of court, and they're gonna move on. And
this is TNT's fault. If you wanted to keep the NBA, you should have put in your bid and just gotten it done. They wanted to play around and we don't need the NBA, blah blah blah, and now you lost it.
Yeah, they should have offered to match it a lot sooner.
No, they had an exclusive negotiating window, and they didn't even send an offer in that window.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is Adam Silver basically trying to put on his David Stern hat and say, "I'm gonna kick you in your face because you spit in my face."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're talking about a man who was literally hired because of his business prowess. It's an MBA from Duke. He was Adam Silver's he was David Stern's right-hand man, period. They made money because of him. And he knows the business. You know, so he's gonna win in the end, I guess, in an opinion.
All right, we had 2 submitted questions and then we got to get up out of here. First up from Jason Ridley. What are some possibilities for who the Ravens play and keep at the safety position? If you saw, the Ravens just signed Eddie Jackson, formerly of the Chicago Bears. I don't know if you know this, Jose, but he was a Pro Bowler 5 years ago. I have heard that ad nauseum since the signing. So I think that they're doing this to try and free up Kyle Hamilton to stay in the role that they had him in last year and move him around and do Kyle Hamilton things. I don't think, as some people have suggested, that he's insurance for Marcus Williams because he's been hurt as much as Marcus Williams over the last few years.
And he's nowhere near as good as Marcus Williams.
Yeah, and I don't think that his play has held up, to the standard of his early years. But it's a solid depth signing. I think that they'll be playing all 3 of them pretty extensively. I don't know about our Darius Washington making it again. I every year people tell me he's really good and he should be on the team, blah blah blah. And I don't really see it. So,
what about Bo Braid?
No.
Oh, okay. We were hyped about signing him, right? After he didn't get drafted.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about the undrafted guy. I was talking about the guy they drafted in the 7th round. Also, no.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah.
What about him?
Also, no.
I thought he was a steal. I thought he was a sleeper. But we're hyped about Eddie Jackson now. Okay, whatever. All right. What's the next question? Oh, did you have anything to add to that, Ferris?
No.
Okay.
Mike says I wouldn't have sent an offer yet either. You got to wait for the top offer, then top it or match it. No, they could have just closed the deal in their window. They didn't have to open it up to any other offers at all.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make an offer at all. Yeah.
You weren't gonna beat ESPN's offer because ESPN offers their motto is this: it's not an overpay if we want it.
Well, it's not ESPN. It's Amazon.
No. The top offer is always ESPN.
Yeah,
that's always the top offer.
Amazon's got a piece of
it's like that's the third package.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what TNT's going after.
Exactly. They weren't going to match the NBC 2.5 billion for 11. You know what I mean? And ESPN pays a little bit more because ESPN's philosophy, like I think they still do with John Skipper, we don't see it as an overpay if we want it. We pay what we pay because we want this stuff. You know what I mean? That's why they pay the NFL for like $2 billion because they cover the NFL year round, unlike the other networks who cover the NFL in fall and then you're watching comedies for the rest of the year. Yeah. You know what I mean?
All right. So our second question and final question from Jay. With Carolina's poor outside linebacker depth, he put it another way, but is there any chance that Clavon Chason contributes? There's always a chance. He's still a young guy, relatively young. He was a first-round pick for some reason, right? Like there was something there. Evero,
people loved him. Pre-draft, they loved this guy.
Yeah,
I also loved Barkevious Mingo too.
That was an awful draft for Jacksonville. They took 3 guys in their first round, and all 3 of them were massive busts. But and all 3 of them ended up in Carolina. But Evero is a very good defensive coordinator. I think that if he makes the roster, he'll make some plays just by virtue of being out there, right? Because they don't have anybody else behind Clowney and Wonnum. But no, don't expect anything from Chason. Just put your expectation level at 0 and be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, the answer is no. Like, did you not see the workout video he did? I mean, that was a while ago, but you can't fix that.
Jay, Deion Jordan says Deion Jordan got hype. So what? Deion Jordan was an absolute monster in college. He just wasn't a pass rusher, which is what they drafted him to be. And then obviously that didn't work out.
Yeah. Damn, I loved watching him at Oregon.
Yeah.
Him and Kiko Alonso.
Yeah. Kiko was solid.
And Eric Armstead.
Eric's still good.
Yeah. But that is it for the submitted questions.
Though.
It's okay.
Shout out to DeForest.
Sorry. No shout outs to DeForest.
I like DeForest.
No shout outs to DeForest.
All right,
name, DeForest.
Let the people know where they can find you.
It's like the coldest. Guys, you can find me on Let's Get Ready Network every Friday, 3 o'clock Pacific, on our Highlights YouTube channel where I talk football with Caleb. We talk NFC East. Giants, Cowboys, some Eagles, some Commanders. Sorry. Shout out to Quan. Sorry. Every time
I bet he gets so confused if he ever watches these videos. Like, why does this dude keep shouting me out? I don't know him.
Quan, I know Quan.
Yeah, he knows Quan. Quan knows him.
I mean, we
all right.
We were literally.
All right, man. Just get on with it, bro. I'm just.
All right. And then Let's Get Ready Network, the Highlights channel. I'm there as well every Friday, 8 o'clock Pacific, the Open Table, various other, entertainment channels that as well. We've reached 150 subscribers on our sports channel.
Hey,
you know what I mean? So shout out to that. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Trying to get to 200.
There you go. All right. And we are trying to get to 2,000 if we're not already there and YouTube isn't hiding our numbers, okay, which I suspect. But look, it's open mic night over on the Overtime Show. Anything that you guys want to discuss, come hang out with us, drop it in the chat, and we'll discuss it. If we,
I've actually got a question for an Overtime Show. It's a pretty quick one though.
Okay, all right.
It's with do the 49ers players, having been to 2 Super Bowls and lost both of them, right? Do they believe in Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy? Or are they saying, hey, this isn't working out, so Trent Williams, Brandon Ayuk, I'm going to hold out and at least get my money out of here since we're not.
I have some thoughts on that. Well, okay, we'll discuss that. All right, patreon.com/LBHTShow. All right, that's another thing we're trying to do. We're trying to get our numbers up over on Patreon as well. We appreciate everybody that's subscribed over there.
Slogan for the Niners.
I love everybody. Thank you first. Appreciate everybody that's subscribed over there. Appreciate your support. We provide a lot of things for you guys over there. So the Overtime Show is one of the things. Our Patreon, not Patreon, our Discord. We got a nice coin for you guys. I mean, there's all kinds of things. So sign up for a membership if you have as little as $5. We got other tiers that are available to you. And B says Brock Purdy. Yeah, Brock Purdy. Yes, living legend. Okay, so patreon.com/LBHTShow. That's where you can find us next for the overtime show. Everybody else, thank you very much. Have a great night, and we will see you next time. Peace.